gold is something that I have not previously considered, even though I heard about it. I know it's a precious metal. Ladies love it on a ring or earrings, but you have taken it in a different way. And maybe just start with your background, you know, who is Barnaby Anderson?
Okay, thanks, Amelia. Yeah, my background has been in tech, in technology, since the early 90s. And so all that time basically around e-commerce and creating payment systems and basically platforms, always at the cutting edge. So I basically got involved with it when it first began in 95. And then, so I took all that way through, and then I found out about blockchain and Bitcoin. From about 2011, 2012 onwards, I became quite interested, but then it wasn't until 2016 that I pivoted everything I was doing in that direction. And across all that time, I had an interest in finance and actually in the way that banking was run. And so the whole idea of digital currencies and basically bringing decentralization, basically having some competition in the money space, the way that people, because everybody's, you know, always looking for money, but what actually is money? And so the oldest form of money has always been gold. And what I realized from when I really got into blockchain and cryptocurrencies was that most people, even after more than a decade, they still didn't understand the value proposition of essentially of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, but they would always understand, and they always have for thousands of years, the value proposition of gold. And so even though I was invited to go and speak at Harvard and the World Economic Forum in Davos on cryptocurrencies and blockchain, I realized that, well, hang on, if I really wanted to help bring this to the masses and to everybody, then let's look at seeing how if we could marry the oldest asset in the world, gold, with this newest form of technology, blockchain. So basically bringing an ability for people to trust a transaction without there being the need for a middleman. That's really at the heart of what at blockchain, because I think you were just saying that you didn't really have a big history or understanding around what blockchain is. The real exciting aspect of it was that you've always needed to have a trusted party, like a bank or a financial institution, to be able to manage the transaction between two parties. They were always the intermediary, and they always took a cut, yeah? And some people say for the last, you know, X amount of time, 100+ years or whatever, that there might have been some corruption in some of those processes around those, because those people, those organizations, they have a lot of power. What would happen if you and I could transact together without any middlemen at all? What if we could actually do a transaction where there was, they call it trustless, because we don't have to trust in each other. The code, the technology is what actually enables the transaction to go through. And so this is quite a leap in people's even thinking. Is like, wow, could we really do that? Could we really have a system where we trust in the process of the technology? And that's been validated now. And so these blockchains, they haven't actually been hacked before. So it's an incredible encryption technology. So I hope that was a good enough answer to it. I've talked for a while about that. But basically that's what's happening really excited is, what if we could take gold, something that everybody understands, and bring it around to having it being essentially like a digital asset where we could transact with it, where we could exchange with it, and it's always backed up to the gold one for one.
Oh, wow. That's really fascinating, and it sounds super complex, a lot more complex and maybe even safer than the banks are, which they probably don't want to hear at this point in time, right? So I guess you noticed the economical forces changing, and then you went back to the soul of it, which is gold-backed currency, but then you took it to the new technological advancement, which is the blockchain, and then made it into a digital format, but it's still, there is a physical side to it.
Exactly, which is something that is actually very new. This is very cutting edge. And so now I've been working on this particular area since 2019, last year, and I was actually putting together a gold platform, but to be honest, what actually happened was COVID hit, and supply chains around the world across many industries got impacted, including the precious metals, including gold. And so I was working with a gold dealer who was going to be supplying the gold, and then suddenly COVID hit, and they were like, well, we're having some delays on receiving the gold. And there were some supply chain issues because the largest refineries in the world have been shut down. So we should be able to get you the gold, they said. Now, I'm sure you could imagine if I was going to be launching a gold-backed currency, somebody said that they should be able to get the gold to back it, that would make you be concerned, yeah?
A little
Yeah,
bit.
a little bit. So I basically stopped all of that. I had to pause it because it was like, no, that's
Okay.
not. So then looking at the whole industry, then where could we guarantee that we could actually, because now there was the advisors I was speaking to, they were telling me that unbeknownst to a lot of people, there's actually a lot of paper gold that's traded. In fact, a lot of what the world trades in gold is actually paper based. And there are many who say that it's actually kind of a bit of a game of musical chairs. I don't mean to scare you with this stuff, but basically there could be many more paper contracts than there is actually gold. And so, and you could just do your own research into that. Anybody can look into that. But that's kind of like something that people don't want to talk about. So where could we guarantee that there really was the gold? Well, at the source. So going to the mining operations. And so that's when I was fortunate enough to come in contact with Paul Hanna and also and also Kevin and the whole team around the clean mining and the New Fortune. And they've been working for many years on basically pulling together all the technology and the mining infrastructure to not just launch a mining operation outside of Perth, but actually bring about with this clean technology, this clean mining technology that was going to remove all the toxins. So, which is something that's been dear to my heart for many, many years, is actually how can we actually clean up the earth? We're not going to stop mining, but how could we actually turn it around and make it something that was actually at least not destroying the environment with some of the most toxic chemicals around, mercury and cyanide. Anyway, so when I found them this year, I was really excited. It was like, okay, so it was like a godsend in a way that the other gold dealers didn't come through. And so and they wanted to tokenize, Paul and the team wanted to tokenize gold anyway. So it was basically, that's how we were able to put it together, was how could we can get the gold out of the ground, directly connect it up to the blockchain, turn it into a digital certificate, a digital asset that could basically, on the most ubiquitous blockchain for digital assets being the Ethereum blockchain. And so which means that anybody could hold it in their digital wallet. I know I'm saying a lot of rather intense, complex things here. And if I've said anything you don't understand, please go ahead and ask me more.
No, that's brilliant. I think you're covering it really well. And Paul, can you explain more about that clean gold?
Okay.
What is the difference, and what does it mean that it's clean?
Right. Okay. So we, with the CSIRO, who you'd know pretty well in Australia,
yes,
collaborated with a development pilot plant in a place called Menzies in the Goldfields around about 3 years ago. They'd been working previously on a non-toxic way to extract gold by not using cyanide and mercury. Cyanide. So it had been in the lab for 10 years or so at CSIRO. It's a major thing to be able to get rid of cyanide, on a world base. So we actually went into business under a collaboration agreement with CSIRO to build the first pilot plant in WA to prove it from the lab and build. It cost us, probably $4 or $5 million to get the pilot plant up and running and to test it outside the lab. So we did that about 2 years ago, proved that we could do that with them. We then bought the patents from CSIRO, that is Clean Earth, bought the patents from them, and to this day still work with them under a collaboration agreement to enhance the technology even further. So, so we actually, with New Fortune Gold, which I'm the chairman of as well, with Clean Earth.
Brilliant.
So we pretty much had the Holy Trinity, if you like, in that we had the gold, we had the clean gold tech, and then we had Barnaby to be able to digitize it in a 21st century way.
That's really innovative.
So it just came together, and we got Barnaby at the right time, and he got us at the right time. But the reality is that we are gold mining guys. I'm not saying that, but my company is a gold mining group. And so we actually are using this platform with Barnaby to produce gold. And so you're getting it, if you like, factory direct without the middleman. So we, instead of going to the market traditionally, equity markets, we've chosen this route because we think it's going to be we think this is going to be the way of the future with digital currency and particularly with gold-backed currency. So, I think this will grow and grow and grow over many, many years and will be the way to do business. But we do have the first gold mine that we bought in a place called Southern Cross in the gold fields of Western Australia. And that was where, in fact, the gold rush started in Western Australia. It went Southern Cross, Coolgardie, and then Kalgoorlie. So we bought the Radio Gold Mine about 8 months ago. And so that's our first actual production, and we'll be at the Radio Gold Mine. And that historically was the richest privately owned gold mine in Australia for many, many, many years. So we bought well. And what's happened is that the gold price at 2,700 or thereabouts Aussie has brought all these old, let's call them stranded assets into play now, because, mining at $1,500 an ounce is not like mining at 2,700 an ounce. So all of a sudden, there's enormous profits in being a gold miner in the world, particularly in Western Australia and Victoria as well. We're looking to do things in Victoria, your way, at Bendigo and Ballarat. Oh yeah, no, we're quite serious about. So look, our mantra is to basically mine using non-toxic solutions. That's what we do at Clean Earth, and that's what we do at New Fortune. So we are basically launching this token as the first wake up to the industry around the world, and using Barnaby's technology effectively. So
this is great.
We've got a fairly big mandate in Australia. Australia is the biggest gold mining country now in the world. It surpassed China, which was
wow.
So we've got a massive market here for our technology and for our gold. Therefore, it means that we have CleanGold. That we produce coins in Singapore. We were actually the first CleanGold coins will be here with me in Perth from Singapore in the next week or so. We're happy to show you those. But
brilliant.
yeah. So what we're doing is producing 50-gram gold coins. Okay, so this is not so that when you buy a token from us, you will be able to redeem if it's 50 grams that you bought into a gold token. So that there is your delivery.
So that's your physical product, really, that the digital token is linked to. Correct.
So it's one for one. So there's no middleman here in this business. But as Barnaby said, a lot of people just want to keep their tokens on the blockchain and don't really want to take delivery of the coins. But if you do want to take delivery, then we will get them sent to you.
That's
so
brilliant.
we have got, in fact, we actually refine in Victoria our gold. So it goes
wow.
West Australia, Victoria, Singapore as a gold bar, and Singapore develops the coins. So we just finished that as a trial basis. Does it work? Can we actually do? And we have done that. And so we are now launching this offering to the world effectively so that we can produce more gold. So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy.
That's brilliant. It sounds like everyone was at the right place at the right time, and it's just a convergence of all of it coming together.
Yeah. And I think the offering that we're like, getting any return on your money, where do you go these days? Do you go to interest in banks? No, because you know if you get 1%, you're doing well. Property, maybe, but this particular token offering is for the first adopters is a 20% real offering. It's as simple as that. So the spot price is, let's call it 2,700 an ounce.
Wow.
But so it's 1-to-1, but and less 20% discount. So
that is huge.
That is a 20% real discount to gold. So if you think gold is going to go to higher, then it's a 30% return type thing. So that's what
Then you're way ahead of the market, isn't it?
I think we are. Yeah. So we're doing that to launch it because our cost of production using the new tech is actually less than what a normal cyanide gold producer would be able to do. So
it actually makes so much sense, and now that I understand it a lot more, it actually feels so much better to look at a company just like yours to be associated with, where I know that it's coming from a kind, environmental friendly place, but it's also looking after the people within the business and also the end investor as well. So it's fascinating. You guys done extremely well. Congratulations on finding each other, buying the gold mine, setting up the system, and coming up with the whole concept. It's beautiful to see. Congrats.
And we might be able to meet one day. We haven't even met each other because of this. So we can't travel. But
it's truly digital, isn't it?
Yeah. But look, it is interesting with Victoria, for example, because to get a cyanide license going in Victoria now is almost, I won't say it's impossible, but extremely difficult. So the world is looking for clean technology.
Solution.
And so that's our difference to this offering apart. So we've put together the three factors: the gold, the tech, and Barnaby's expertise. So
yeah, well done.
We get the gold and we get it refined and minted into gold coins, and Barnaby drives it. So we think it's a good combination.
It's a good marriage. So Barnaby, if I could jump back to you, and if you could just quickly explain to me what is on offer right now for investors who would be considering, jumping on board and taking advantage.
So for a limited time, basically, while this with this opening offer, what we have is we're basically to jumpstart the whole system. As Paul's been saying, that the mining is actually underway, but we really want to fast track it, and so that's what this. The digital asset is really about. So offering CleanGold and its ticker symbol CGTC, basically when people buy those digital certificates, which are tokens, they're tokenized on the Ethereum blockchain, each one is per gram of gold. So, and what we're doing out of the gate as this special launch is giving people a discount. So that's really that's the main thing that's on offer for somebody, is that they get to come in and at a time when gold is actually, the supply chains are being squeezed, it's hard to actually get, and many people are paying a premium above it. And even aside from that, many people could be buying actually into paper gold products. So are they actually even really getting the gold? So that's something that you want to think about. So here you're going direct to the source and you're getting a discount, and it's redeemable down to just the 50 grams, so per 50 gram lot. So you can actually buy less tokens than that, but that would be the sort of the ideal from there up, because that's when you can redeem and get the physical gold coin. And maybe you want to buy, get several of these coins. They're beautiful. When you go to the website, cleangold.io, you go there and you can see the coin there. We've also got a calculator. You can go there and you can calculate how many you want to buy, and it shows you the discount. The more that you put in, basically the higher the discount. And so the range is actually from 8% up to 16%. So there's a range there. Yeah.
That's
So,
a huge discount.
it is. Yeah. So the 8% is a big discount for somebody to come on even. And so, and as I was saying, mostly at the moment, there's actually a premium on the gold. And then if you're looking at the state of the world's economy, many conservative institutions, including like very large banks like the Bank of America, they're saying that they could see gold getting to $3,000 next year. Other people are saying it could be even higher. So, and look, we're not proclaiming that that's obviously how could we do that. We can't say that's a fact. But if you're bullish on gold, if you think that it's going to go up as it has been for this year, then not only getting this discount, but you're looking at, well, when the mine is fully operational and you can redeem it in the fourth quarter of 2021 next year, then if gold has jumped, then you're also making that difference there as well.
Wow, that's win-win all around by the sound of it.
And then along with that, so just to make even just to clarify, so then along with that, you're having it as a digital certificate, a digital asset that you'll be able to store in a digital wallet. And I know that's like a new thing for you. You were saying you haven't really had much exposure to blockchain or cryptocurrencies, but basically it's a little bit like a bank account, except that it's decentralized and you can have this wallet on your phone or on your computer and you can store it. And so now we're being very much above board. Everybody who comes into the system is having their identity checked. So when you first go to the website and you register, you click on a button like join us, then you register, you put your name, and then after that, you basically have to upload your ID, like a passport or a driver's license. So everybody who comes into the system, they need to do that. And what that does is that validates that we're only dealing with, with the right kind of people. There are some bad actors in the world who like to buy gold for nefarious reasons, and we don't want to deal with them at all. So that's a key here. So because of it being a digital asset, redeemable for physical gold next year, at the end of next year, then, or it could even be sooner than that. So we're giving ourselves this space because the more the funds that come in, the team is, that they're confident about the extraction and the mining process. So somebody who's got the tokens, they could basically exchange them before then. So this will become a liquid digital asset, and so that's I think going to be exciting for people as well.
And the thing is, we can actually mine. Like now, we have we have a total mining license. It's ready to go. It usually takes you from start to finish in producing a gold mine, depending on the size, it can take up to 4, 5, maybe 6 years. So we've actually we're there. We've already got the shaft in. So we can actually go in now and go down 100 meters, and we can bring gold ore up and produce gold and send it on its way. And we've got the ability to do that. However, we've decided that we're going to put what you call a decline in. A decline is a modern way of getting gold. You can send trucks down and you can bring a lot more ore to surface. Like so straight down vertically, you're going at a 1 in 7 ratio, down and down and down and down and down. So you can bring a lot more ore to surface. So we've decided to do that method because we can get 12 to 14,000 tons per month, as opposed to 2,000 tons per month. So instead of going down the shaft, you've got a bucket, and, you send it up, it's very slow. So that's exactly what we're doing now. So we can actually produce gold now if we go down the shaft.
At a higher rate as well. It sounds like you've really optimized the process as well.
Yeah, so we've really said, look, let's put the decline in. It's circa $3.5 million, $3 million to do the work. But you can just produce so much more gold, and you can what you call drive off at any level by doing that. But the investment goes in to actually doing that, and we can bring trucks, and we can we can get 7 times the production per month. So that's what we're doing. So it's not we're not an exploration company where we're looking for gold. We've actually got the gold, and we can produce. So, and that's why we're using Barnaby to actually, I guess, finance the gold in the ground using this coin. So it's a really different way of looking at it.
So the financing, basically people coming in and pre-purchasing the gold, that's really what's happening here. Amelia, we're going to fast track that process that Paul's talking about. So it's already underway. Now we can fast track it. And if anybody wants to look up more, they can just go to cleangold.io and they can click on the menu and you'll see the mining, the mine there. You can go to the page, it's all about that. And the reports that are up on the ASX, etc. You can read everything. There's a lot of material there. And we've got our white papers as well. So there's plenty of material for someone to go through and really come up to speed with the offer.
Yep.
That's really good. Excellent. So if anyone's interested, then they just head on to cleangold.io, register, put in their details, do all the background checks that you need for it, and then take advantage of this discount offer that's on the table. How long is that open for? So what is the time frame that, what is the end date where this ends?
So we've got it open to the market for a certain amount to be sold out. And we're getting every day there's increased interest. So basically the offer is on essentially until it's sold out. So people should, look at this ASAP.
I'm happy to support a business such as this because it's good for the environment, it's good for us, it's good for everyone. So yeah, it definitely sounds like a win-win for everyone. Now I have a couple of interesting questions. One question for each of you. So maybe I start with Paul. Paul, what is the one thing that you want to be known for?
Before I die.
Yeah, or if you were to look back maybe in 10 years' time and you're giving a speech, what is the thing that you want to be known for?
It's a very good question. I would like to be known as an entrepreneur in a clean world. An entrepreneur for a clean world.
That's beautiful. That's a really good one. How about you, Barnaby? What do you want to be known for?
Well, like Paul, very passionate about making a clean world. But I'd say along with that, I'm really passionate about people's freedom. And I do have concerns around what is going on with the economy. So I would like to make a lasting difference to basically bringing people decentralization and the ability for them to freely trade without censorship and without corruption. So if I can make a difference in the world and reduce the corruption and bring people some more freedom and opportunity, that's something I'd like to be known for. I trust in the goodness of people, and I think that people having empowerment is actually what's needed now. People need to be empowered. They need to be empowered economically, and as you were saying, and doing good for the world and good for the environment is key to that. But as you would have noticed, everybody thinks first about their own finances because they need that to survive. And I know a lot of people have got concerns around what could happen with the economies crashing, with this centralized system around centralized banking, and that's just been, and basically this QE infinity, constantly printing money. And I think this could be disastrous for people all over the world. And basically, we need to see some kind of shift in this. And people are going to lose faith and confidence in the banking sector, in their dollars. And so where are they going to turn? And so right now, we can bring something to the people where they can actually get into an asset that's going to have lasting value. And so, yeah, I see a new economy. The current economy, it can keep on going for sure. Like, it can do its thing. I'd like to be known for basically being involved in let's reinvent and make a new world, a world where there's freedom of opportunity, as Paul was saying.
That's very, very exciting to be on the edge of the creation of it. So I'm super grateful to have been able to meet with you both. The gold mine, it's just a really good match, I believe. So thank you so much for your time today, and
thank you very much.
All the best with the venture, and yeah, looking forward to keep following it and being a part of it too.